Alright, good morning. Welcome to Studio Janai live stream. It is March 27th, 2022. Days zooming by pretty quick. Or the year, well, whatever. It's already 2022 and it's already a third over. So, today we're working on the Sith and Jedi Magatsuki builds. The tandem builds I've been working on for a while. A little bit of a delay here the last couple weeks. Been stupid busy at work. Had to go out of town for some training and just haven't been in a good headspace for wanting to work on model kits. Couple things coming down the pipeline that I've been working on the side. I do want to do a cooking segment with one of my girls. I just recently picked up a girl. Her name's Karina. One of the things I do like to do, one of my passions is cooking. So coming up here pretty soon, I'll start doing some, I guess, blog posts or kind of things of some of my signature dishes, and I'll be presenting them with Karina as the chef. So this is Karina here. So she got just a snap build. Later on in the stream, she's supposed to have her hair gradiate to a pink, kind of like a strawberry blonde on the tips. And then I have a different hand pack, so it's slightly different color here than her actual flesh tone. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera here, but on the thigh you can see it's more of a pink. So I'm going to try to get in there with some pastels and kind of golden up her skin tone a little bit. But other than that, I don't want to do any other detailing on her because I'm going to be posing her a whole lot, and I don't want to risk rubbing off any paint or anything. So she's probably going to stay a snap build. With just like I clean up the nubs and everything, and I might remove her cape because if I'm getting it near to the stove, I don't want it to catch fire or melt. Same with her, I'm kind of cautious about that too. So she's probably going to get a good top coat just to make sure that she doesn't get dirty too easily while I'm cooking. But anyway, so today what you came here for, more than likely, I did just make a couple of posts on Facebook to a couple of the groups. The more groups that are more centered around people who are getting into the hobby and learning as we go. A lot of comments I've seen lately about water slides. You know, how do I do water slides? And so many people out there just pushing the Bandai products, pushing Tamiya, pushing Mr. Hobby. And water slides originally were never meant to have a secondary application, hence the reason water slide, not softener slide or anything like that. Sorry for the air quotes, that was really stupid, but the point is they're meant to be applied with water, and that's how I've always done it. That's how I learned how to do it. That's how I still do it. And really, you need a good pair of tweezers. I've got some angled ones to get in there to some of the harder reach spots. Regular tweezers. You need a nice, clean, fresh blade on your hobby knife, and we'll use that to cut our parts off, as well as to stab the end of the paper when we go to pull it out of the water. And then, of course, you need Q-tips. Now I have way more here than I need because I need to restock my Q-tips, but get the idea. And I've stopped buying off-brand Q-tips. Q-tips are one of those things that it is worth spending the extra $2 to get nice Q-tips, get Q-tip brand, because the binding agent that they use to actually get the cotton to stick on the head of the tube is much better. Some of my older ones, these are Q-tips that are throwaway Q-tips that I don't use anymore, that I brought down from my art stuff. You see they fall apart really, really easy as they start getting wet. Q-tip brand holds up a little bit better. It does fall apart over time, but it's not the end of the world. So, and of course, the last thing you need is water. So what I've got is a thermos here full of hot tap water. Just straight turn on the hot tap, let it run for a minute, get it steamy, pop it in a cup, and then while you're getting set up, it'll, of course, inevitably cool down a little bit because we don't want boiling hot water. We don't want to melt our decals. We just want to get them to separate from the paper quickly, leaving as much adhesive on there as possible, and then we want to get them on our thing. So we want to work one decal at a time. We don't want to work, cut the whole sheet out, throw it in there, because that's going to cause you problems. You do one decal at a time, get it applied, put it where it needs to go, tamp it down with your Q-tip, which you're going to see all these processes here shortly. I'm going to get started. And I'm actually using the decals here from my Kikka onto my straight Magatsuki, and I'm not going to use all of them. Because she's got an asymmetric feel already. I only want to apply some of the decals. Now I'm not adding the front skirt decals to the Sith girl, they're going to go ahead and go on Kikka, which of course is the Jedi, and of course she's not been disabled. So we're going to take this. Oh, I guess my little photos. We're going to take this one here, and it's going to probably go on this right hand side. We'll put this one on the opposite side like it's supposed to be. This decal is probably going to go, I think, I gotta look at my book, but I think it's supposed to go symmetrical with the armor, which I'm not using the heavier plate armor on the Jedi girl. So this end here, this line will go on this side, this hard line will go on this side, and we'll bring that wrap around the front. But I'm thinking I might just do the outside only on this side, and just leave it at that, leaving the armor more exposed, leaving the 3 decals for some other project later on down the line. Not 100% sure. We'll be applying these threads that are here. They're meant to go along the chest line. According to the booklet, they're actually supposed to go in here in this crevasse where there's actually a split line, which looks more like a fold. And I don't want to put them, I think I'm going to put them just below that. So you got the stitching underneath the fold line, which I think will look a little better, make it look nicer. And then the reverse for the Sith, she doesn't have the cloth upper, she's got the armored upper, so we're gonna probably figure something else out there for there, whether we add some sort of flashy gold. But I got lots of red here, aftermarket red, that I'm gonna go ahead and tattoo my Sith girl up. Now I've already tattooed up her face. I did that basically at the start of this project. I have opted for the cowl. I've decided for the cowl. As much as I like the Empress head and as much work as went into getting the extra crown on there, as much went into that, I don't like the feel. You know, she's a Sith, she should have a hood, so we've given her the cowl, and that's where she's going to stay. She's going to keep her cowl, and we'll go with that. So we'll get into this. I'll put some water in here, and we'll start cutting some decals out and start applying. If you're coming to my stream here today, or if you're watching this video later and this is your first time viewing, thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming. If you're here in stream, which I can see my chat, but I can't see my if there's actually anyone here. You know, feel free to pop in, say hello. Slosh just a little bit of my plate. So, okay, another thing. I'm using a plate, a nice shallow plate with a white bottom. This helps me keep an eye on my parts. Now, when I go to do my white parts, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, so I got to make sure they don't come off of the paper before I have a chance to see where they go. So we're going to go this leg. We're going to start with this bigger one. Now, really important when you're cutting out your decals, again, like I said, cut them out one at a time, and try not to get your fingers on any of the other decals, because it'll actually start rubbing off the top coat that's already naturally applied to the decal, and it could actually screw up your decal, cause you more problems. So when I was talking about poking and stabbing your decal here, you know, just use the tip of your knife, grab a hold of that, plop her in the water, get her to sink down with your tweezer so that she actually goes underneath the water. You can see that this doesn't actually cover all the way, so we got to tamp it a couple times, kind of drown it, get the decal fully submerged. It's a little harder to do on a plate, especially when a bigger piece, but you poke around at it long enough, it will do. Now with the warmer water, it releases quicker, so there's not as much time there to go for it to come off. And what I like to do is I just grab the area right next to the color and just kind of poke at it, because what that'll do is it'll tell you if the decal is starting to pull from the paper or not. And where the decal is, there's usually a little bit of a film. That kind of holds the whole decal together. I'm already going to change this water. It's a cold plate and I put warm water on it and it's already cooled the water. One of the advantages of being on a concrete floor is I can just toss the water on the floor. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but the decal is starting to slide on the paper here. So give it another second or two. Poke the paper so we can get it to come loose. Grab it with our tweezers. Reposition as necessary. We're going to want to grab it this way and pull it sideways. Now I also like to pre-wet the part that I'm going to stick this on, get a little water on there. You'll put the paper right to the plastic, grab a corner of your decal, slide it off. I use my knife to kind of position it where I want it. Now we use the dry side and we put it right to the edge of where the decal line is, and it'll actually draw the water out from underneath the decal and pull it to your Q-tip. And once you've got pretty much the edge sufficiently done, grab yourself another Q-tip, and you can do one of two things. You can actually start in one place and roll it, which is a technique I have seen done by a lot of people, or you can do like I prefer to do, because rolling it like that will sometimes drag the decal. And you can actually do this when you're tamping, but I tamp straight down using little tiny, basically just hammering straight down on the decal with the Q-tip. And then we're going to want to drag this just a little bit if we can, because our decal did slide slightly. Now we've got a ridge here that we have to deal with, so what we're going to do is we're going to let this set for a little bit, for a couple minutes, and what we'll do is we'll come in, we'll apply just a tiny bit of a clear urethane droplet behind it, and then we're going to press that in with our scalpel and hold it in place. This might be where your mark setter, mark softener comes in to help it make these curves, these really tight ones like this, but even without the even without anything, you can kind of keep working at it. You can wet your Q-tip again. You can kind of poke at it on the edge, keep it damp, and that edge will eventually form and set, but I can speed up that process just a little bit. Obviously, the more you mess with the decal, the more your chances of messing it up. So kind of try to get it right as quickly as possible, and then of course when you hit this with clear coat, it will seal it and you won't have to worry about it coming off down the line. Now another thing we can do, since we have like three hard lines going right here, that's why you need a sharp knife. You can actually cut your decal to make those lines. as you can see, I've got that hard line set in there now, wrapped in by doing it that way. A little bit more time consuming, a little bit more difficult to go, but it does work. You get that result. So again, I think I'm going to leave just that decal on the leg. I kind of like the idea of keeping her asymmetrical on the one side. We might mirror that design up on the upper thigh if we can. I think what we can do for this section anyway, I think we can take, I think we can get away with actually taking an opposing decal here and pulling it, if we trim it. So we're going to modify this decal and get it up on this upper leg. And we're going to find we've got this nice little line here we can cut straight across on this piece. So yeah, this is kind of a make it up as you go along when it comes to custom work. Obviously, if you've got a kit that's requiring decals, they're gonna have instructions on there for you for where those decals should go. Hey Shade, how's it going, bud? How are you doing today? Oh, hey, I asked your mom to send you a message about Fortnite and to let me know to message me or her if you see a skin in the shop that you want. I bought some V-Bucks so that I kind of want to, every time we get a new season, I'll buy a chunk of V-Bucks and we'll get the battle passes and stuff, and then we'll get the new. Each of us can get a new skin per season. I think that might be kind of fun and fair. Might be able to add another one. Let's see. Can we get that? Might be too much.
When did you start streaming?
Huh?
When did you start streaming?
Oh, I don't know. About 18 minutes ago.
Okay. I was like, when I looked. So it was like your.
Sometimes less is more when it comes to decals. And we could, like I said, we could add maybe one of these little triangle parts into there, but I might use those over here somewhere on the shoulder or something. Those are actually supposed to go on the, I think they're supposed to go on the tips of the, yeah, they're supposed to go on the tips of the shoulder armor on these corners. So I might do that on the right side as well. Keep all the decals on the one side. And then I got a comment here. Got a Dusty Rush, who might be showing up, it looks like, possibly. If you're here, hello. Alright, here we go. Okay, so that one's ready to go. Come on. Oh, and Shade, oh, you published a new video. I'll have to check that out. Shoot me a link on Messenger, buddy. I'll have a look at it a little bit later. I finally beat that boss on Elden Ring, the one that was in the castle that got me by surprise. Margit. I beat him 2 days ago now. And I beat the other boss down in the castle down, what the heck? Mornay, Castle Mornay. I beat that one. And let's see. Oh, and I beat the White Dragon, the one that scared the bejesus out of me in the middle of nowhere. So he's done. That was that's been a lot of fun. I almost want to add that other little piece that I cut off the front there, just across the front of the armor there. How would that look? Have that. Yeah, I think it's okay, because it's already got that separation there. Yeah, we're going to leave that. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and do the gold, and that's supposed to go with the little flamey things coming up and away. So those go this way, right? Okay, so it basically folds and wraps over. Is that what they've got going on? They're just showing that. They didn't actually give me numbers on that. Oh yeah, they did 6-5. Okay. So I went 6 and 5. Okay, so we're gonna go. All right, I see it. Okay, cool. Well, son of a bitch. Where'd it go? I just flung my decal into my cabinet here. Couldn't have gone far. It's a cubby hole. Oh, stuck to the wall. There you go. So here's my exception to the rule for doing more than one at a time. So I've got two smallish ones that I can do in a very tight, close proximity to each other. Obviously, it should go without saying you don't want to touch these while they're setting up, drying, and you definitely want to put a clear coat on them before you handle your kit too much more after that. At some point, I'm gonna have to get into my gold paint, and I want to paint these. There's two little lines on here that are etched into the detailing, so I want to actually paint those just to bring that gold further into the skirt. I almost grabbed my decal. menu flipped. Okay. And I think we're gonna go ahead and call that because that's supposed to be for her chest. Okay, so now I think we're gonna add a couple little decals to her skin for some more tattoos. Might be easier to actually take her arm apart to do this. And that's on there tight. just pull this part off. Make it easier to get to. That way. I would like to get that off there though. And I can get under there to do the decal where I want it. Wow. There it goes. So we're going to leave this one bare. I'm going for that one-sided aesthetic. Okay. Might have to give those pegs a little bit of a filing. Okay, so that's my inner. So it goes that way. And that's going to go that way. Okay. So we're done the gold for now, so we're going to put that aside. Let's find some nice red decals here for the arm. Let's go with so we got some nice little angles there on the face. So let's go with kind of like this right here. Now these are from my sheet, Oscar Nine Tails. Let's do use that on the thigh. I think that'll look good on there. So let's do. Let's do one going this way. And of course we'll do one on the other side going the opposite way. Something gold on the chest armor here. Get some nice gold decals from Sanaju. Just keep the gold simple. We can do something like just a simple gold. Anything we could add to the breastplate and maybe to the arm? I might get back to that in a second. Get these arm tattoos going first. Just making it up as I go along. On the lower part of the arm. Kind of like how that went on at an angle. We'll keep that. It's going to be harder to replicate on the other side if I don't have a point of reference, but happy accident the way that went on. I like it. Okay. Looks like I might be here longer than I expected this morning. Might not actually finish all my decals today. That's okay. This isn't a race. It's not about blowing through a project. Take your time, do a nice job. Water's getting cold on that one too. I think we're gonna do this. Oh, son of a bitch. Get a little water on there. Fuck. So that you don't really want to have happen. I don't think I'm planning on using any of those decals for anything anyway, but if you've got water on your cut surface and you set your decal down in it, you can get your decal wet, which sucks. It might still work later on down the line. Probably not though. Those ones. So cold water will still work. Unfortunately though, it does make it a little more difficult for bending your parts or your decals to make them wrap around an object, because the cold water doesn't soften up the glue as much. The part will still wrap, it's just a little bit more resistant that way to wanting to fold. Now this is a pretty simple, straightforward kind of round, so it's not that detrimental here. But if we were doing something where it was going over an angle, I'd definitely want warmer water. Close. Could go up just a tiny bit. I think for these, I think we'll go this way. Let's see, how do we want them? Back of the arm. I think I'm gonna like that best on the back. Yeah. The black rubbing off of something interesting. Oh, probably from the cowl from before. think on the thigh, pull this off without losing my leg. Wow. I guess that's in there. Oh, got something in before the clear coat, and it's on there now. It ain't coming off. So for the thighs, we can probably use these guys right here, right above the armor line. I think that'll look pretty nice. Kind of like that idea too. Use these as well right here. This one's going to be a little more tricky when we get to the thighs because we got. I'm going to try to apply 2 decals in generally the same area, so it'll be re-wetting the part a second time after getting the first decal on, and that can cause the first decal to want to shift as well. That could be problematic. Let's see. Get here some triangles in. Got my device. What if I did? That could work. I'll do that. I like that. Okay, and then we'll use these. See, now the ideas are starting to come to me. I'm getting a kind of a plan now. Let's see, I want him to go the sharper point going to the front. So I want to go this way with this one. That's a little more water in there than I need. You there, you here. Except that one needs to be rotated because that's wrong. Shit. There we go. Something like that. Just go and set this one. Let's put it so this angle is right here. So we get a nice little kind of tribal arm band going on there, and then we put the armor piece on. You won't probably see too much of it, but it'll be okay. I'll know it's there. Center. Looks pretty good to me. Okay. Thighs. Let's keep going on those. Shit, I meant change water. We'll change water after the next one. So we're going to call the arms done for now, at least the tattoo part. I might add some gold to the one arm. What do we got? Yep. Guys asking a question here. Lucas Burning saying he hates water slides because the longer or larger ones always break or drift from where they're supposed to. We show boy how to make it less of a nightmare in that regard. So I don't really have any particular long ones here I'm doing, but I can quick scrap one that I know I'm not going to use onto a trial piece. Let me just grab something big here. In the parts bin. Something like, I don't know. It's a nice chunk of shield. And we'll take, oh, let's see. I don't think I'll ever use this guy right here. So this is a long one. Now, if he's here, if he's watching this later, that was kind of a part of what you're talking about there, where it's breaking. When you're going over creases and folds and stuff, when you're working the angles, especially when you got a bunch of tiny, I don't know if those are coming out, but there's a couple little tiny detail glints in the midst of all this decoration that basically the glue that's on the paper wants to, actually not put that yet because I want to not scrape those other parts. The glue that's on the paper that holds the ink or whatever the coloring is, you'll have the base design in there, but then they'll have a little bit of a glue around it that holds all of the different pieces on one. If it sits too long in the water, that glue will start to erode, and you'll be left with basically a thinner and thinner piece around your material, and so those little ones will flake. And this is why I say it's very important to do them one at a time, or in this particular case where I'm working two very small pieces, very similar, setting them both at the same time. It's just on the shoulders and the upper arm. I'll be doing the same here with the thigh on this one, but with the next one on the thigh, even though I'm doing two at a time, I'm going to probably do those one at a time because I have to reapply, and when I get the piece wet again, I could have an issue. So that's okay. That one's ready to go. All right. So again, we're going to wet our thigh here, get a drop of water on there, grab our dry. We're going to set our paper to the skin. I'm going to pull it, slide it right off the paper onto the part. Let gravity do its thing there. pull this with the knife, slide it around. Sorry, that's not on camera, is it? We'll pull this with the knife and slide it to where we want it, which we want it right at the top of that armor plate that's going to be on there. And try to center that. It's feeling pretty close to center. Okay, and we're going to pull the moisture off it. And then we're going to tamp it. And then repeat this side. And you got to use just the lightest amount of pressure. Don't push too hard. See what kit is it? She's custom. All right, so no other questions or comments there. We're going to keep going. All right, before we go on to the thigh a little more, we're going to go ahead and show, I believe it was Josh. So we're getting our part in here. I got to change my water, it's cold. But that's okay, this will be a good example. It'll show us some possible problems when it comes to colder decals. So we want to get that in there, we want to get it fully submerged to make sure our part is underwater. Make sure that paper is good and this is an older decal too, so this might have problems like what he's asking about with it tearing. Some of the older Bandai ones are notorious for it. I can even see this one looks like it's cracked right there, it's split. So this will give us an extra challenge to show how to actually match up a split decal. Because I think that's gonna, yeah, it's already starting to pull apart as is. Might even be one of the ones he's talking about. Foils seem to be a little difficult. And this might be where the guys who are using the Mark Setter and the Mark Softer, they do have it right, but you don't have to have the stuff. Like, you can move on without it. Like, you know, guys who are spending $60 on God Hands, you have to get God Hand. You have to get, no, you don't. You don't have to buy the most expensive tool to do this job. Like, this is a hobby. You do what you want. You enjoy it, and if you can do it on a budget, because you're on a budget, do it. That's where I'm at. I just got cheap $8 nippers, and they work me great. I use that. I use my scalpel. I use fingernail files that I get from the dollar store. So again, we're just going to test and see if it's starting to wiggle yet on the glue. Not yet. Freshen up my water, it's cold. Again, it's okay. So we'll try to get this over a contour. We'll try to basically lay it in, like, I don't know, right right in here maybe, along this edge here somewhere, just to throw it in there. I think this is off a Gleason 1/100 kit that my brother sent up to me. He sent me a bunch of parts from different things. Something I couldn't see myself using, so it's just ended up in the part bin, and I might come back later and, I don't know, cut the thrusters out of it or something. Find something I can use something off of it for, maybe. Yeah, there's Dan. Dan commenting on, sorry, it was Lucas, not Josh. Don't call me out of my god hands like that. Yeah, sorry, man. It just is what it is. Like, I mean, you know, it's funny thing about this hobby is there's a lot of people who gatekeep and say you have to buy the most expensive shit. You have to. You gotta have Tamiya panel liner. You gotta have this and that. I've used Tamiya panel liner way back in the day, back years ago, and I didn't like its consistency. I don't like how it works, and I don't like the fact that it can sometimes eat bare plastic. And that's a big problem with me, is having a. That's a good question. So I have an RG kit. It'll be my first one I ever built coming up. So I don't actually have a direct answer for all RG kits. What I can tell you is you can usually tell the difference on your decals. Where are my dry transfers? I had some here somewhere because I was thinking about using some on this kit. So your water slides usually have a blue background. They have they come in your plastic, and they've got kind of a blue color to your background. Decals, generally like sticker decals, come on like a white or kind of a off green color, and you can usually just peel these right off and then use them. Your dry transfers usually come on a white or clear paper, and they'll usually have like a white piece of like wax paper kind of looking stuff, parchment paper with them. And these came with my MG Shinmusha. So the paper will actually come away from your dry, and basically what that does is when you put your decal onto your part, you put it down. Obviously, the dull side is the side that's going to stick. So you're going to put that down on there. You're going to put your paper over the top, and then you're going to rub it with some sort of plastic or something. There you go. So he's able to answer that one directly. Perfect. So you can usually tell a difference on your slides or on your decals between slides, dry rub, or just stickers by the paper that they're on or with. Okay, I think this one's finally ready to come off. It's starting to lift yet. Yeah, okay, perfect. So, I think we're going to get an example of what Lucas was asking about too here, because like I said, I think this one's cracked already. This is an old slide. So we're going to come in here. Like I said, I like to get my part a little wet, get some water already on there where my decal is going to go. Paper to the part. Yeah, see. So she's already cracked and split, but we're going to line it up. We're going to put it together. If I can get it to hold still. Come on. Trying to do it away from me so you can get on camera, but it's just not working for me. There's one. And somebody mentioned something about their Sasabi shield. and it's probably the same thing they're having there when they dealt with their shield. Is this is a really brittle, very old decal, and they seem to break down over time. I don't know if that's the glue, but this is broken into 3 parts here, so we're just got to be very gentle with it if we can. Use the tip of our knife to get it into place. Again, this is just for posterity, so we're not following any guidelines, so obviously you're gonna have to try to line it up with where you want it to go. But if you're gentle and you just kind of slide your part around, you use the tip of your blade, you find that split where it cracked, line it up. Okay, we're good. And then use your dry one. Just don't start tamping yet, just go along the edge, pull any extra moisture out from underneath the decal. And as you do that, sometimes the decals will shift, so I don't know if that's going to show there, but there's actually a bit of a split there where that piece broke. So if we pull it back with our knife a little bit, readjust, before we tamp it down, we can get that line matched back up. Make sure you got your dry end. I like to start usually in the center of my decal, work my way out, but with this one having that split, I'm actually going to work this way to work it toward the other one. That way when I get there, I can make sure we're lined up. Boom, looks good. Come this side. And like I said, tamping straight down, don't try to push an angle unless you want to move your part. Now if you do want to move your part, you can put it at a little angle. But as you see, I'm coming straight down. As I get a little closer to that seam, I am going to go ahead and add just a little bit of a side angle there. And then we get the seam, I'll push it straight down. And our seam is almost perfect. We'll give it a little nudge and boom, done. We've repaired the decal. We've got that long part on there. So hopefully that helps. So I've bought an aftermarket Bandai water slide sheet for the models. That's why I was confused because RJ backing is blue, but I thought I remembered seeing someone say they were work dry transfers. Just wanted to get confirmation with my Exia. It's a more greenish tint of the original sheet. This water slide are blue, but to be honest, the color correction decals are mostly okay. No transparent outline. Looks good. So anyway, there we go. We did a nice long one. Lucas, if you're here. Yeah, I do pretty much everything rattle can and hand brush. I don't have an airbrush, although my brother decided he's got an extra one and he wants to send it my way, so I might get into airbrushing. Before I get into more decals, I'm going to go ahead and change my water here. Yep, dumping it right on the floor. Did you see that? Yeah, concrete floors. It's a beauty. Don't care if you make a mess. It'll absorb right in there and you never know. So again, I got my thermos, warm water, top up my plate, keep it shallow. Sound like some sort of instructor here. But yeah, so this is all part of it. And as far as I was going on about panel liner, I switched off of doing any kind of paint for panel lining or the Tamiya. Like I said, I tried that years ago. I didn't really care for it. I use Sakura micron pens for my panel lining. A 005 gets right in there, nice and tight. I don't panel line my girl kits too often. I usually panel line their weapons. The only one I don't do a lot of straight build stuff, so I just it's all custom work now. Like I got out of straight build shit 20 years ago. I'm an old man. Set in my ways now. So this airbrush is going to be new for me if I get going on that. And I don't know. Like I've kind of got some techniques and stuff and styles that I've developed for myself over the years that I just don't know if I can move past that. Anyway, so panel lining. What I like to do with my armors is I like to find, because I'm also an artist on the side, I like to find a similar color Prismacolor marker. So when I was doing my Sith Guardian here, Paladin, for all the white, and I don't know if it's really showing up because I did it subtle, really subtle. I used what was it? I want to say it was 40%. So where is that? 70, I think 12 is my 40. 11? Yeah, 40. Here we go. So I've got Prismacolor markers, and they've got a nice brush tip on here. And all I would do is I'd come into the part, grab the edge, where I wanted the line separation, clean it up with a Q-tip, and it would get give it that drop shadow without giving it such a hard line with the panel line. So you don't have a clear defined black line on there. You've got a nice subtle shift in shadow, which I think is a more natural tone for me anyway. And then I will blush for my hair. I'll use chalk pastels, which come in a kit. They look about like that. Applied with a makeup brush to give, this would be the makeup brush, to give different colors. Like for my Sith here, you can see on the tummy I've added some dark shadows in here to give her that kind of more sickly pale feel. Whereas for the Jedi, a nice healthier peach tone to make her look a little more sun-kissed. So that's just little things, little detail ups that are pretty simple, pretty easy mods that don't break the bank. And again, no airbrush, so my own techniques. Picking up Iwata Eclipse next team for airbrush. Coming in stuff for whoa. I'm excited to get further with detailing. Yeah, okay. Just recently started using the Gundam marker pour type panel liner. I've heard about that, but yeah, and this one's not corrosive. That's good because a lot of horror stories out there with people with their parts getting eaten, and as somebody who customizes, uses a lot of clear coat. I've had unfortunate accidents. Actually, I had one just before this stream where when I went to pull off Magatsuki's head so I could change out the cowl back for the hood, or for her hair, because I decided I wanted to give her her cowl now instead of her Empress headdress. I actually broke her neck peg. I fortunately had a similar enough one in the box, so that wasn't the end of the world. I was able to just swap that out, but let's see, how do we want this? I think we want this. Do we want it straight at an angle coming up over it, or do we want it, we kind of want it like this, going from round to round. Something like that. So here we've got two decals, close proximity to each other. This could cause problems because the water might go from one under the other and cause it to want to slip. Which, as you can imagine, wouldn't be the best thing in the world. I think, make sure, let's pull it back a little bit. Let's move it just a little bit back. So it's right over that dot. Right there. So we'll go one thigh down there. Warm water definitely makes a difference too. Don't forget, like I kept doing, keep your water warm. Just makes the glue come away from the paper a little faster that way. But don't neglect it, don't forget about it, because it will eventually eat most of the glue away from there, and then you got problems. We don't like problems when we're doing something we enjoy, right? At least I don't. And I think we're going to put these little ones, I think we're going to move them so that they're just coordinated with that tip. So that'll go right on the skin, and I think right there, extending that look toward the center of the abdomen. thought about giving her a like a decal on the belly, but that usually implies pregnancy, and I don't really want to. I don't want to make my Sith Empress look like she's pregnant. That'd be silly. It'd be kind of awkward. I kind of want to add a little something more though to the top of the thigh, or maybe to the buttocks here, coming off that corner. Oh shit! Gonna saw that. This is gonna be kind of a pain in the ass because I got to work on the opposite side and set her down. Stop sliding. Still got moisture on here. Oop, wrong one. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, as long as you use it over clear coat, but again, that's not. You can't always guarantee a clear coat's gotten into the crack unless, of course, you're painting. Unless you're painting the entire kit from, basically start to finish. Another little faux pas I do that a lot of people probably don't agree with is I paint on runner, but I want to clarify by saying I paint my first base coat on runner, and then I come back after I've done all my detail cleanup or all my build. I clean up, disassemble, and then repaint the individual parts. So I like to get that nice solid base coat on there while I can see the different parts, and it also gives me an idea where my my color separation is going to be for the kit build. And if I'm not fully decided on all the colors, it helps me decide where I'm going to put them. And I've got to put a little bead of water on there first, but I think we're going to be okay. It's just a little sticky. We're going to come in a little tighter. I want to bring this down. Back this one off just a little bit this way. About there. Down just a tiny bit. I like it. Okay. There we go. We got a tattoo on that side, tattoo on that side. I'm liking it. Keep our tattoos asymmetrical though, or keeping them symmetrical, even though the rest of her is asymmetrical. Just kind of want to put something on the butt. I don't really have anything though. Look at I. So on the lower. Well, you don't really see the lower back, so that's not really a big deal. Yeah. Too much of a good thing. Alright, so let's move to the tummy. We can do so without messing up that decal as I keep dropping the thing. Okay, do not move my decal. Stay. Nope, that one got. No, that one ain't moving. Okay, so we can push this one back. Nope. Come on. I gotta find a way to stand her up without it resting on that. Maybe I'll do the... Shit, I need more hands. I can fix that. I have more hands. Come here. Aha. It's a good investment. Or not. Come on. Grab it. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do both of these at the same time since they're both on the tummy. They're not too far apart from each other. I can work them fast. I'll have to give her another coat of clear when this is all done. New. Definitely time-consuming process, though. It's not, decals are not something you're just, you know, setting. I'm going to set 30 minutes aside today and I'm going to get this kit done. I mean, if there's maybe 10 decals or less, you might be able to pull that off, but I spend months on kits sometimes. But I mean, life gets in the way too. Like, I don't always sit down and work on a kit solid for 3 days. You'll actually, as you pull the moisture away, you'll see it like suck down the decal. Like the water will come out and then the decal will actually go almost flat. So you'll know you pulled the moisture out of it when that happens. Change the angle on this a little bit. Let's go. Actually, let's go ahead and paint that now too while we're at it. Where's my gold? It's gonna be tutorial day. Yeah, learning all kinds of shit today. This guy right here. I keep all my tools right close and handy, so like my pens are up here, my pencils, my brushes, anything I need is within my grasp. So so damn shaky. I'm trying to do this one backwards. Those are kind of messy, but I'll clean them up here in a minute with black, and then it'll be fine. That sucked. I knew it was going to happen eventually. Super glue. Did I have some already opened up? So my little tail that goes on the back here for the skirt in the rear snapped off, and I had a hunch it was going to happen. It was getting looser and looser. Really? Too clean of a break? Probably. No? Just gonna be like that, eh? Okay. So I have two arms. I guess you probably can't see that. Never fails. Something goes wrong in the middle of every build, right? God damn. Every time I think I have it set, the thing rotates. It doesn't want to stay. Come on. Right there. Now. Perfect. Now don't move. Or, you know, move. Alright. So, that was unexpected. Sorry for the delay there, but we had to fix part. So, that's going to have to sit there and dry for a bit. So, no more tattoos on the lower abdomen, which is probably fine. I think we're good there. I think we'll do a maybe little armor part here. I saw some gold on that Bandai one that we were on earlier that I thought I might could use. Just this little, maybe like C shape here. Would that look better over top? Probably not overhand. It might not too bad. Either that or something else I was thinking was we could do that one. Actually, that does look pretty cool. I might try that. Go with this guy right here. I bought a Sanaju secondhand off of somebody, and he's already applied all the regular sticker style. He didn't bother with the water slides, so I have a full sheet of the Sanaju water slides here that I can play with. Let my water get cold messing around with that freaking tail on the skirt. So this should give us a nice idea of how a older style water slide does not want to conform to a rounded bit. I don't think my gold anymore that way. And then I'm going to have to trim this one after it dries. I think it's this one. I'm probably going to add a little something to that. And then did I want to do something with this one any further? Probably right on that center piece. What about the armor on the arms? Maybe something there too. Or let's see. Maybe just the right arm. Keeping the left arm. Sorry, I'm mumbling here. Thinking out loud. So what can we do on the left arm? We could do more gold here. Be nice if I had something symmetrical I could put on there. Ooh, something like that. Okay, we could do. You know what? No, let's keep it more simple. Let's go. Put this right here. Lower one, let's do this right here. I like this. I think that'll work. Okay. Probably should have cut these on the sheets, but I wasn't sure where they were going to lie, so this is going to be a bit of a ah, shit. Let's just do one. We only got the gold on the one side anyway. Let's just stick with that. That one tore on me. I don't feel like fighting with it. Not on the corner here. I kind of like the idea of doing symmetrical anyway, or the asymmetrical. Pull it a little bit more. This could be a problem. Let's see if I can cut it without tearing this decal to shreds. There we go. You play nice now? Oh, you teased me, you suck. So what I'm going to do with this one is I want to cut part of it apart. Yeah, it's just going to disintegrate. Son of a bitch. Okay, try again. That was no good. Different plan. See? See, sometimes it doesn't work out for all of us. Alright, let's try something else. Something a little less curved to it. Let's try this guy right here. Still won't actually cut it ahead of time, so I know where we're going to cut it off of. And then, let's see, bring that up and around. This one's actually got a really, really thick bead of glue on it. She doesn't want to wrap as well because of it, so we're going to cut some of the glue away. Make it a little easier to handle. Overlay the two. There we go. Let's try that. Make a custom slide now. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I might not do Jedi today. I might not even get to Karina today. Well, I'll probably I'll probably do Karina next year. I'll do some blushing on her because I do want to get that done. Because it's a project I want to start. I would actually like to have started tonight. I'm making a stuffed meatloaf tonight, so it's like pinwheel stuffed, vegetables and cheese and. We're just gonna do that. I like that. I was gonna make it two-part, but I think that's gonna look good just as is. I'm a happy little accident. Sound like Bob Ross. Happy little accident. I'm much happier with that. These little curves help accentuate the curvature of the breast. I like it. This one here. Ooh. Alright. Oh, you know what we can do on the arm? Do you recall seeing a little gold dot somewhere? Alright. always kind of bugs me when a cat walks right over to somewhere deliberately and then just sits there and stares. Cat's over here looking at the corner. Did you see Spider? You got something? What you got, buddy? Just gonna lay there and stare at the corner, huh? Okay. Freak. Anything across the front of the boot, maybe? No, I'm liking that. Definitely less is more on stuff. Some of the stuff. Put the little centered up in there, and I think we'll call that good. I think we'll be good on our Sith. I did not mean to put that in the water already. Oh well. Shit. Can I pull that? Yeah, there we go. And we'll hit that with the clear here in a minute. Of course, I can't get to my clear right now, so that'll have to be after stream. I think I actually intended to use this one on there, but that's alright. Put that one. Across the back of the boot, maybe? Right there. So I've cut it, I want to use it. That's what we'll do, put it right there. One last decal for her. I think we're going to call her decaling done. And can we pull this away yet? Yes, nice. Had to go and touch the frickin' thigh, didn't I? Almost messed up a decal. Okay. Now while we're waiting to clear coat that, we're just going to put that over there. All right. So, get a look at that real quick. That's our decals turned out on the thighs and the tummy. Got our detailing done on that. I had to re-glue her back skirt back on. Shit happens. All right. And then for this same boot, I think I'm going to just put this gold across the back right here. Should wrap there okay, I think. Maybe. I'm going to keep it subtle. I'll have to come back and repaint the jewels again, but that's all right. The fuck? Why did you decide to come off? All right, there we go. Ready to slide. Okay. We're good. We're going to set this stuff off to the side here, put our water away. Actually, I guess I don't need to re-clear that one because I didn't get any decals. Same with this. Didn't do any of that. I need to clear this, 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 that, that. Of course, the body. Then the water. That got the cat out of his fix. Won't need my Q-tips anymore. So put them in my jar. My tweezers. Put everything away real quick. I will need my knife. Oh, Lila. Chill. No. No. Dog's gonna go make some noise. Okay. Now, normally I would do this on a white, my whiteboard, but I've already started a different project, so get into these legs if I can get them out again. We'll leave her face to be the kind of paler color. Give her that effect that she's wearing a lighter makeup. So this is pretty straightforward stuff. Got a nice pink color. I think we're gonna like that for what we're trying to do. Yep. Let's try adding a little bit of. So yeah, we're just working on hair right now. Trying to get this gradient in here to get it nice and subtle change from blonde to strawberry blonde tipped. Get this done so I can get clear coat on everything. At the same time, put my clear on my Sith parts. Get my clear on her hair and her thighs. Still don't think she'll be dry in time for handling tonight, but oh well. Next big planned supper, I can maybe get into that. Yeah. I'll have to clear coat her faceplate here. There we go. So we'll get that. Get a nice little fade on there. A little bit of fade into the braid. It should be natural because that'd actually be closer to the tips of the hair. Couple that on there, give it a little bit of pink tips on the side of the bangs. Gonna need some pieces of runner, a couple of lost a shoulder. Nice thing about not having carpet is when you lose a piece, you can usually find it pretty quickly. Although if it's a gray piece, it takes a little while. Here. Rippers. Always keep sprue runner nearby and handy for if you ever need to make a peg to go in something. Yellow these up a little bit. I'm going to try to use this color right here. I think that's going to get us close. Okay, I'm getting to that point in time in the stream where I just am throwing shit around, I guess. Okay. Our hands are going to be a little bit more cream color, but at least it'll bring it into the yellow spectrum a little better. So it's not this bright pink contrast to the skin yellow. My camera's not really picking it up very well, but to me it's very obvious, so let's give her a little bit more of a nice vibrant feel. Color correction on the hair, like I said, we got that done. So I think this is pretty much it for today's stream. We got our oh shit, totally missed doing freaking whoops, forgot the neck. I'll do that real quick. There we go. Now, next time. Now we're done. Okay, so we got our, and this wasn't what we really set out to do. I did want to get it done today, but we got our hair done for our Karina here. Give her those red highlights at the tips and the braid, a little drop shadow in the shadow regions. We got our neck, arms, and thighs. A little bit of blushing on them just to give them that extra bit of color, and also to hopefully correct out that yellow that's on the hands. Since I'm using different hands, actually not for this kit, because I have more hand options. I can more fingers splayed differently, holding grippies, etc., etc. Keep her parts over here so we don't. Not that we really can mix them up in Magatsuki to completely different colors, but we got our decals on our Magatsuki kit here, which that one's lifting. It's unfortunate. I have to try to lift that. Let's see, I need a spot of water. I don't want to use that water now. Okay, we'll try that again. So that one was lifting, so we just gave it a quick little touch up with water, help wet it on the back side, pressed it back down, and we'll get a clear coat on it, and then it should be good. As I spill water on myself. Get going, me. Okay, so we got our waist section done with the and there's a lot of shadow in there, but again, we're trying to make her look sickly, so like that Sith kind of illness look. So we got the decals there on the tummy. We did the detail on the gold on the front of the skirt. So she's pretty much done. We'll give her a coat of clear. We'll hit some high gloss on the gemstones again. Got our tattoos on her shoulder there. One little dot of gold accent on the armor. Got our little bit of gold on the chest, keeping with the theme of the decals only on the one side. That's the opposite arm. Got the tattoo done there. Just a quick little detail piece on that opposite. It goes on this opposite the side skirt, so I think that's probably her, like, I don't know, lightsaber holster. And then we've got the leg done on that side. And that's all the decals we did, and we'll get her clear coated off of stream here, and Shade. Subscribe. Yeah, thanks. Sure, if you like what I've got going on here, I mean, it's a almost 3 hour long tutorial on water slides and how I do them and detail up and stuff. But I mean, I regularly stream all my work, so there's countless hours of video there of what I'm doing, things I'm working on, how my process works. But today was more specific. I knew I was getting into decals, and like I said, I've seen a lot of people lately. How do I do decals? How do I do decals? And we had a gentleman even ask earlier what the difference in the decals was between the dry rent transfer, the water slide. Sorry, I assume gentlemen. I shouldn't do that, but yeah. So we'll try to get me back next week and do Kikka's water slides, because I think 3 hours of sitting in this chair is enough on my bum. It's causing me a little bit of grief on the tailbone. But yeah. Hopefully if this is your speed, like and subscribe, and give us a follow over on Studio Jedi at Facebook or Instagram, or StudioJedi.com. Has all the cross links and references to all of our other media. My wife and I run the studio, and if it's your first time coming or watching these videos, hope some of my insights were good. Hopefully the video quality actually is better on the upload than what I'm getting in my preview, because it's not great here. It's a little grainy, but I think when I've looked at it upstairs later on, usually it looks a little better. So anyway, questions, comments, concern, leave a note. Thanks for coming, Mr. Emmanuel Freeze and Mr. Napalm Gaming. I'm not sure if either of you was Lucas, the gentleman who originally asked how to do the long water slide tutorial on that. So we got to even look at how to kind of slightly repair one, because it was split the minute it started to come off the paper. It was already torn. So sometimes it just happens, and you either work with it or you don't. And then of course I had one on the breast that just wasn't cooperating. It's too much curve, I think, for what I was trying to do, and slide was a little too old. And perhaps something like that, Mr. Super Clear, or not Mr. Super Clear, Mr. Mark Setter, Mr. Mark Softener, or whatever. Might have been the way to go. I don't know. I've never used that stuff. I don't think you need to, for the most part. If I'd have, I probably could have salvaged it if I'd taken more time and care, but this was just kind of a throwing something on there as an afterthought to get the armor to follow through on the one side. So anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining, and hopefully some of the information there can be useful to you, or if you have a different way, I'd happy to hear it. It's I'm not so old that I'm set in my ways and not willing to change or try new things. So I just don't see any point in putting out money for something that I can already do when it comes to things like Mark Setter, Mark Softener. But yeah, thanks for coming, and we'll end the stream here, and we'll be back maybe next weekend for the Jedi. All right, take care. Have a great day.